Alright, hi there everyone, Matchstick Gamer here, and today I want to talk about a topic that might be a bit touchy amongst DBZ fans. I don't know. Now, to be abundantly clear before I begin this topic, which you probably have already read the description of this video, and the title of that, I want to be abundantly clear I am not here to offend, upset, or disrespect anyone or any group. Okay? This is me strictly doing research, so that way more people understand more about this character and possibly maybe answer a few questions about this character. That said, let's get on to the topic of the video. Is Whis of Dragon Ball Z gay? To be abundantly clear, if he is, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm perfectly cool with anybody that is gay. I actually recently had a friend that came out over the internet recently and admitted to being gay amongst his fan base. He's a voice actor, prominent voice. Well, I don't know if he's prominent or not, but he is a well-known voice actor nonetheless. He actually goes to a lot of conventions as a special guest. Anyways, that said, I also have some family members too, by the way, but I'm getting off topic here. So anyways, back on to if Whis is gay. So, I took the time to do some research into various characters that are openly gay in regular anime, like not yaoi based. I didn't want to go to yaoi anime because that's obviously gay characters. I don't want to use something where characters are like meant to be gay. That's like me going to watch a gay porn, but people that are in the porn may not actually be gay. Like there's actually people in the porn industry that are gay for pay. Don't believe me? Take the time to read some articles. I don't really watch porn, but I just know this stuff from documentaries. That said, characters I chose because I had to find a list, and this is the best list I could find, so sorry it's so small. We have Grell Sutcliffe from Black Butler. Obviously, he is gay. We have Toya Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura. We have Yukido Tsukishiro from Cardcaptor Sakura. We have Daily Wong from Bubblegum Crisis. Thomas Weiner from Thomas Hearts, which is only in manga form, not anime unfortunately, and that is all I have to compare against. So, how did I try to prove or disprove Whis' sexuality? Well, I started looking at personality traits to see if maybe there's something that's shared amongst these characters, something that they all have in common. Now, something not too many anime fans know, blood type, eye color, and hair color all have specific meaning in terms of their personalities when trying to figure out what a character's personality types and such are. Well, so I started off with Grell, of course. Grell has red hair, but unfortunately, there's no official blood type listing for him, and the eye color that he has is shared across all Shinigami, and not all the other Shinigami are gay, or at least don't come off as gay. So we couldn't use the eye color, and since, again, we don't have blood type, kind of threw it out the window, so all we have is red hair. Toya Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura has brown hair and brown eyes and a blood type of O. Okay, awesome. Yukido Tsukishiro from Cardcaptor Sakura has gray hair, brown eyes, and a blood type of AB. Daily Wong from Bubblegum Crisis has brown hair and brown eyes, but does not have an official blood type listing. Neither does the classic version of him. I'm using the modern version of him. Then finally, Thomas Weiner from Thomas Hearts manga has blonde hair and brown eyes. Unfortunately, no blood type listing for this character. So, y'all may be wondering, okay, well, none of these characters really have anything in common with Whis, who has white hair and purple eyes. And by the way, I checked to see if Whis has an official blood type listing from Toriyama. No, he does not. And I did some really thorough research. So, yeah, Whis does not have an official blood type listing. So, that said, I started reading over characters' blood typings and everything. So, our blood type, hair color, and all that, trying to figure out, you know, what they may have in common with personality. So, I looked at red hair, and red hair says, according to my research, red hair was originally a European characterization, fits Grell perfectly since it takes place in, Victorian London. Most Asians have black or brown hair. Red hair is associated with a temper or an outgoing personality. That core idea exported into anime. Redheads are full of raw energy and are often associated with fire. Redheads are resilient, they seek to survive at all costs. The color is associated with both death in life and psychology. Okay, red is also considered very sexual. Female characters with red hair are sometimes the temptress of a story since red hair is a fairly rare color. Even in Europe, it gets a lot of attention. It can even have a fetish aspect to it. Redheads tend to also be a Sunder characters because of the fiery nature of the personality and the sensual warm side of red. Characters with red hair that are also dressed in black are often villains or dark personalities. Black and red is a combination of the unsettling of and even fearful. Okay, so that's red, which Okay, doesn't really sound a lot like Whis. We can't really use that there. I mean, I guess Whis is kind of outgoing, but not to the point to where it sounds right. Okay, so since we don't have anything else for that, and he's the only redhead on our list, we don't really need to compare him to any of the other characters. So, now we have Toya Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura, who has brown hair. Well, what does it say about brown hair? Brown hair characters tend to be stable, consistent, and predictable. They tend to be the most likable of the archetypes. Brown-haired characters are fine with just being themselves and accept their place in life. They are earthy as their follicles. However, browns can mix traits of other archetypes. They run from honey brown, which mixes brown with traits from yellow, to ruddy brown, which mixes brown with traits from redheads. As browns darken, they start to pick up traits from the black archetype. So, there we go. And we have eye color. And it says eye color for Toya is also brown. So, brown, it just says troubled and restless. Okay. And his blood type is O. Let's see what it says about the blood type of O. People with blood type O, people blood type O, people are outgoing, energetic, and social. They are most flexible of the blood types. They easily start up projects, but often have trouble following through because they give up easily. They are flighty and not too dependable. O-types always say what's on their mind, they value the opinion of others, and like to be the center of attention. Also, people with O blood are extremely self-confident. Type O, the most average blood type, is considered the best in Japan. So let's move on to our next character on the list, Yukido Tsukishiro from Cardcaptor Sakura. He has the hair color of gray. And what does it say about gray hair? Gray hair. Gray hair usually connotes a character with hidden power that will be relevant later in the series. These characters are usually very intelligent and often, although not always, evil. Eye color for him is brown. What does it say about brown eyes? Brown eyes, troubled and restless again, okay? I don't know why I repeated that, even though we covered that with the last character, but there. And then of course, blood type for him is AB, so we pull up the blood type listing. Type AB. People with blood type AB are hard to categorize. They can have characteristics on both ends of the spectrum at the same time. For instance, they are both shy and outgoing. They easily switch from one opposite to another. AB people are trustworthy and responsible, but can't handle it when too much is asked of them. They don't mind doing favors or helping out, as long as it's their own conditions. People with this blood type are interested in art and metaphysics. AB is considered the worst blood type in predictability-loving Japan. They are loose cannons. They also like to set their own conditions and reserve the right to drop out when things don't meet their expectations. They're known to be sensitive and considerate at times, but it just isn't enough to balance out the flaws of this blood type. For a while, some companies tried dividing their employees to work in groups based on blood type, and no one wanted to work with the AB group. Anime villains are likely to be blood type AB. So, there's a little interesting note there. Okay. And then finally, Daily Wong, or excuse me, no, we're not done yet. We got one more character after Daily Wong. Daily Wong from Bubblegum Crisis. Hair color brown, eye color brown. We already read about brown eyes and hair. Thomas Weiner from Thomas Hart's manga. Hair color blonde. Okay, what does it say about blonde-haired folks? Blonde hair in anime is often used for foreign characters or the rich. In anime, many Western characters are rich. Golden locks are considered happy and regenerative in nature. Golden characters are not the most energetic, but their abilities to recoup when knocked down make them resilient. Blonde hair is often an object of desire. The color is the same as the most precious of metals and often represents a character, most often a girl, that is unattainable by the protagonist or audience. This again plays into the rich/noble persona. So, there you go. But, continuing on, oddly enough, blonde is also a dumb color. I'm using that in quotations, by the way, as per I'm reading this. Blonde characters can be airheads and naive despite the noble, desirable trait of the color. Dumb blondes are a Western stereotype that has latent Asian ideas of blondes. These characters can be goofy and even trivialized by other characters. A good example would be Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist, by the way, in case you were wondering. So, there's that, and then finally we have brown eye color for Thomas Weiner, and of course, unfortunately, we already read that. So, now we are left with, of course, the character we're trying to figure out, Whis, which has white hair and purple eyes. And for the life of me, after doing all these comparisons, I just couldn't figure out anything about these characters that gave us a hint. Like, there's just nothing here that's going to give us the information we're looking for. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I've listened to these characters, and in terms of how he talks and enunciates in both English and in Japanese, he's very similar to Grell in terms of his manner of speaking, but not exactly how he expresses himself. Like, Grell's obviously just flaming. I don't know if, I'm sorry if anybody finds that inappropriately, but I mean, like, it's just pouring off of him like a daggum monsoon. He's making it abundantly clear he is gay. As where Whis isn't very open about it. Whis just, is Whis. I mean, yeah, he does have some quote-unquote gay stereotypes in terms of how he, in terms of his mannerisms and his way of speaking. It's hard to say. I have thought about a secondary possibility that Whis may not be gay, but metrosexual. Those that don't know, metrosexual is not actually a sexuality per se, like, hetero, bi, pan, etc., etc. No, metrosexual is more or less a description of a man that takes really good care of himself like a gay guy. He gets manicures, goes out and does mani-pedis, things like that. Just stuff to keep him looking good. And unlike your average man that more or less maybe shaves occasionally, bathes regularly, and dresses just good enough to where it's like, I'm going to get a girl's attention or whatever. Which is more or less what I do. I just dress like a regular guy. So, Whis may be metrosexual, however, then there's a third possibility. He may, for all we know, his race may be like Namekians, where they are asexual, which means they are not really interested in any gender. I'm just trying to figure it out because, as we see in both the Japanese and English adaptation of Whis' character, he comes off as like he might like men. So, the only thing I can say that could potentially swing him over to that side, of course, is not only the way he speaks and acts, but then there's the scene from Dragon Ball Super. I'm not sure, I can't remember which episode offhand, but Beerus and Whis are talking, and Beerus is taking a bath after waking up from a nap. He's sitting here trying to remember his dream about the Super Saiyan God when he rises up out of the water, realizing what he remembered, and of course he's full-blown nude. We don't see his family jewels. We just know that he's nude, and Whis looks over at him and goes, "Oh my," and like turns around and he's blushing and has his face. So I think it's safe to say, based on what I've gathered, that Whis is gay. However, of course, this is merely a theory. I want to make that abundantly clear, folks. This is a theory on Whis' sexuality until Akira Toriyama himself, not Toriotaro or anybody else at Toei, we're talking Toriyama himself, comes forward and says if Whis is or is not gay. So this is merely a theory until otherwise. So if somebody, say, years or months or tomorrow for all we know, is watching this and Toriyama comes out and says, "Oh yeah, he is gay," Toriyama says Whis is gay, then okay, well, obviously this is no longer theory, but it is now fact. But until then, just stick with we're just gonna have to assume that he is, or at least I am, based on what information I have gathered. Now, again, just as a bit of protection against me here, I want to make it abundantly clear. Again, I was not my intent of this video was not to offend anybody, not to upset anybody, not to hurt anybody's feelings, not to sound like I am being mean, hateful, etc. This was simply me analyzing a character and trying to figure out what their sexuality is, because based on how they act, it kind of makes you go, huh. So, I mean, you don't want to assume something just because of sound or whatever, but you look for key little things that are shared across anime characters, and this is all I could gather, and I'm just assuming, based on what information I can find, that he is. So again, not trying to be offensive, I am trying to do this in the most respectful fashion possible, and if anybody watching this video took it as offensive for one reason or another, I do humbly apologize. I cannot say that enough. My goal was not to offend my viewers, or anybody out there that is watching this that happens to be gay. I have nothing against the gay community, one way or another. So, that was it I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe. Check out my official Facebook and Twitter pages linked down below. And I do hope you will enjoy this to its fullest. Thank y'all, and have a wonderful day. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z/Kai, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super are all owned by Fuji TV, Toei Animation, Funimation, and Akira Toriyama. I do not claim to own any of these. The video and any images that appear were used under fair use.